Yesterday, at the end of the conversation, I promised to bring a verse from Micah 5:4 and to explain the movement between the seventh day, the perception of the seventh day, and the eighth day. So, at the moment, Fernando, excuse me, do you have a whiteboard or just you're on the move? So you just hear?
Yes,
You
I
just
can
hear.
hear only right now, but I read the Micah message. I
Mm-hmm.
can. It's on my mind, and I have questions already. So very soon I will no more than 10 minutes. I'll be home, and I can take questions and see the whiteboard as well.
Yes. Yes.
So
So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Jill is here. Good morning, Jill. Your microphone is open. Hope you can hear us. I would like to start today with Micah 5, Micah 5, verse 4. Let's read it together. We have it on the whiteboard, and the whiteboard is open. I hope you can see if you have a laptop, and we shall read it. And also, I'll open the YouTube here stream, and I could be with you as well, those who participate in the stream. So I could see your questions. I already see here David Garcia and Prince David. Nice to see you here on the chat. We shall read together Micah 5, verse 4. First, the Hebrew, then the English which exists in the translation, and then I shall translate again because the English here translation is a bit loose. So let's read from the whiteboard. Hello, good morning. Shalom, shalom, Reina. Shalom, nice to see you here. So in front of us, Micah 5, verse 4. We shall read a verse and explain through the idea that express here the movement between the seventh day and the eighth day. It's a bit complex, but stay with us. I'll start with the Hebrew. והיה זה שלום, והיה זה שלום, אשור כי יבוא בארצנו, וכי ידרוך בארמונותינו, והקימונו עלינו. There's a message here. A second. Thank you for the microphone. Again. והיה זה שלום. אשור כי יבוא בארצנו, וכי ידרוך בארמנותינו, והקימונו עליו 7 רועים, ו8 נסיכי אדם. And this shall be peace. When the Assyrian 7 shepherds and 8 princesses among men. And here I would like to correct at the end the English translation. Then we shall raise not against, but above him, 7 shepherds and 8 princes of human, of human. And I would like to explain the perspective which is expressed in this verse. So we have seven shepherds, seven shepherds. Let's look at the scheme of the spheres here. Here we have seven spheres. This is the lower spheres, seven. And we have the seven shepherds are as follow: Abraham, here Isaac at the left, Jacob, here Moses, Aaron, Joseph, and David. Those are the seven shepherds. Shepherds in Hebrew, ro'eh, ro'eh. Ro'eh. Our voyage through time is marked by the number seven, like we have 7 days in a week. We have 10 fingers. This is a potential, is always 10, but we are living in a frame of space and time, which is marked by the menorah or by the 7 days of creation. So our being in time is marked by those seven shepherds or seven quality in us. Abraham is like the flow or like day, one day the, in which the light was there. Vayehi O, let there be light. This is Abraham, a flow, the flow in us. And then the second day, Isaac, the separation of water. And then the third day, Jacob, in which the land was seen, and so on. Moses, in which the moon, the lesser light, and the great light, and so on. We continue until we arrive at the seventh day. This is David. So those, because now I speak about multiple aspects together, because I mentioned spheres, seven spheres. I mentioned the seventh day of creation. I integrated also the names of people from the Bible and their quality. So there are many, many layers which condensed in this very, very short conversation. But the verse speaks about peace. So how do we build peace? First, the template of seven, and then comes the eight princes of human. What does it mean, eight princes of human? Eight, like we said yesterday, we have seven. But above it, the eighth day in, includes the seven. If we take a circle, which is 360, and divide it into eight, what is the outcome that we have? Do we see this? If we take a full circle, because what includes the rest is always a circle. So if we take the 360 divided into eight princes, what do we get? This is why I said we have to correct the English translation. This is eight princesses of human. Do we understand? Because so far I spoke, I did not hear any.
Yes, yes, it's
Yes, is it
beautiful.
is it
Yes,
is it clear?
Yes,
So
we get to Adam. Yes.
we get, yes, yes, yes. But there's another perspective because prince in Hebrew, Nasir, Nasir is a prince. It's not a king. It is, in a way, this is the son of the king, the future king. Nasir is the young one. Let's look into prince. What is the value of prince? Like the little prince that we have, the book by Exupéry. Nasir. What is the value of Nasir? Let's look into it. Noon is 50. Samech is 60. Yod is 10. Half is 20. How much do we have? 50 plus 60, how much is it? 110.
110,
110. And another 10?
120,
Yes. And another 20, how much are we?
140.
140. And 140, again, without a zero, it is 1 to 4, or ed. In Hebrew, ed, this is the mist. So what, and please pay attention that if we look into the word prince in Hebrew and we abstract, yes, let's look into the abstraction. Where is it? Prince. We abstract it. We take it as 140 and then we move into 14. And then we move to ed, which is the mist of which we are reading about in Genesis 2. Before Adam was created, and there was a mist or a steam that watered the earth. So, what do we get? Why does the Bible say 8 princes of human? Because a prince is a condition, if we abstract the prince, is a condition to Adam. Because a prince, if we abstract it to the minimum, to get to the source, this is Ed, Aleph, Dalet, this is the Ed, this is the mist, and this is basically the manifestation of Prince in absolute. And this is, since it's the base, what we need to add to it is the Mem. Mem is time or water. And then we have Adam. Do we understand? It is quite. Hello, Fernando. I see on the whiteboard. Hello, hello. Do we understand the concept? Because there are few concepts here. There is first, we have to abstract or open this topic of 7 shepherds. This is for itself a very, very huge topic that we can sit and learn for few weeks. And then on top of it, there's also the concept of princesses, princes of human. The condition to create human is to be pure like a prince. Do we understand? Do you have questions? Is it too complex to catch? Shelton, good morning. Questions, please.
It's beautiful it here. I'm just looking around because we have new things here. I like it very much, the division of the circle in 8 that gives us 45.
Mhm.
This it's very it's beautiful, uh, and I'm just absorbing these concepts, and I thank you so much for sharing with us. Soon I will make some questions, but now I'm just looking at the whiteboard and listening to you.
Thank you. Because I was looking in Wikipedia, and sometimes we find in the midrashim, like in the sources, they're mentioning there's a microphone. 1 second, Fernando. I need to adapt the microphone. Mist is creation. Mist is the 1 second. I will answer, Fernando. Reina is asking. Mist is creation. Yes, mist um, is like how do you say, um, like when we um, warm the water for coffee, and there's like steam that comes from the do you understand, like steam that comes when we warm water, or in a very cold day we make a cup of tea and there's like the steam that comes from the cup. It is amorphic steam. Amorphic steam. It is warm, and from this develops the whole creation. Hayoli, they call it in the book of Zohar, Hayoli. It is something which is very ancient but formless. But from this, everything develops. Is the potential of everything. Yes, Fernando, you were saying something before Arena asked.
No, I wasn't.
I
Just fine.
remember because it brings me back to what I started to say. I read about the 8 princesses, Shmona Nesiche Adam, in the lores and on Wikipedia, and they mention 8 names of figures, like biblical figures. And when I looked at the Hebrew letters, I thought, if you can reach even higher level of abstract, not just to bring names, because nobody knows uh, why those names are mentioned. One of them is Yishai, the father of David. And I thought, if the verse already speaks in this dimension of abstract, why not to share it with you? Because to bring names, it's something very concrete. But if you can bring it to an abstract level, into the absolute, why not to share it with you? And there's another problem with those names, because nobody can explain why those names are mentioned as 8 princes of Yume. In this way, we don't need to bring names or to justify uh, the laws. We just can have a direct access to the source of the thought.
Eti,
Mm-hmm.
if I may, and I
Yes.
thank you so much for opening the idea of behind Nasir.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned yesterday that you would clarify this idea that is the relationship between the seventh and the eighth day, right?
Yes.
And came to my mind, I'm just sharing something that came to my mind, that 8 is Shemona, right? It's Shemona.
Yes. Yes.
Shemona. And we have a lot of, it's very rich, the symbolism around the letter Shin and the Shemona, the Shemen, and what it means. Shamaim, we have a lot of ideas around this that I read yesterday, and so my mind is full of ideas, a little chaotic. But it happens that I was reading the psalm. The psalm that talks about the letters is the Psalm 100 and It's the longest psalms that we have. Is the that
119.
talks
119.
119 maybe? Yes, that talks
119.
about each letter, right?
Yes,
Aleph,
yes.
beta, and when we get to the letter Shin,
Mm-hmm.
it starts with princes are surrounding me and persecuting me, but I am innocent. So it was interesting that I was thinking about the eighth day, what it means, the eighth day, and Shemona, and I read this psalm, and it starts with the idea of one prince that is persecuting the tzaddik, the one who is reading the psalm. So I was just wondering it. Maybe it's totally random what I am saying, but it seems that we have another layer that could maybe approach this idea on going to the eighth day. I don't know if I
Thank you.
make
Thank you so
anything clear, but okay.
Thank you so much, because Shmona, you're right. If you write Shmona in a different order, we get Neshama. Neshama is a soul. So what holds at the seven is the manifestation in our body. We are manifested in time. So the soul holds what? The body, the seven.
It is like Yesod, that is the foundation of the world, holding Malchut, maybe,
Yes, yes,
because Yesod holds all the tree of life
yes.
are united in Yesod, in the secret of the covenant, and this secret holds the seventh day, that is Malchut.
Very good. Very good. Now, since you mentioned Psalms 119, I'll try to bring it here. Yes, 1 second.
I saw that his other name for prince is Shrim, so if Sarim,
Sarim ministers. Oh, this is something. This is I can understand.
yes.
1 second.
Uh, Thank you,
So
Eti.
119. Where are we? 1 second. I'll fish it. 1 second. 119. And you speak about. Let's put it for YouTubers here, and then I'll copy the verse where YouTubers here.
The verse is the 161.
161. You know what 161 is? The number is a manifestation of I shall be that I shall be. But this is something quite to those who go to the details. 1 second. 161. I'll bring it here. It's a very long chapter. Sarim, ministers, ministers. So we have try to bring it to an empty space. Andra, do you find the verse? Here it is. Here it is. I'll try to make it big. Yes, thank you, Fernando. The verse is saying, Shin, Sarim ministers have persecuted me without cause. Is Sarim. Sarim are ministers. And ministers, the Bible says, we have another question here. Okay. Ministers, the Zohar says, Sar, thank you, Andre, Sar is like Basar. Basar is like flesh. So ministers, it means people with self-importance. People with self-importance, because sa, 1 second, I have to change the pen to write it. Sa, sa is like from basar. Here comes the flesh. Ba, sa. This is what the Zohar says. Ba, come, sa. Flesh is coming. A lot of self-importance. People with self-importance, it is like people who are carrying a lot of flesh around them, a lot of manifestation. This is the opposite. It's very good that Fernando, you brought this verse, because the prince in us, it is an opposite direction to the Sal, to the minister. Prince does not have self-importance. He is,
Eti, you can imagine how happy I am with this opening that you made. When we find a path, we feel so happy that it's amazing. If I may, just one thing that came to my mind is that the Sar, the
yes,
minister, we have is the same root as Sarai, right?
very good.
But we have the Sarah ending with the letter Hey, that is the
Mhm.
breath that we can get the id that you mentioned before.
Mhm.
But in this case, we do not have the letter Hey, we have the Yod and Mem, that is multiplicity, is the plural form of the letters.
Mhm.
So we can say that are ministers of the multiplicity, maybe ministers
Yes,
of
yes,
the
yes.
many.
The ministers of the many. The ministers of the many. Yes. The governors. Yes. Very good. Very good. Sarah has the steam or the mist. Sarah, very good. Sarah. She got the hay. It is, what is the hay? Is a manifestation of what? Dalet. This is Dalet, this is 4. And here, this is 1. So Sarah had or has this mist. The mist that is the source of everything. This is why they say for ladies in Hebrew, it's good that they have the letter Hey in their name, because they can conceive. For instance, Rachel, the beloved one, Rachel, Jacob loved Rachel, he loved her. But we remember that she could not conceive. The Zohar says, why Rachel could not conceive? What is she lacking? What is she lacking? Sarah got the letter Hey, is that right?
Yes.
But Rachel does not have letter Hey. She cannot conceive. So the Zohar says something very interesting. She has a maid. Her name is Bilhah. Bilhah. And if we look at the name Bilhah, Bilhah is written with how many Hey letters? How many letters Hey Bilhah has? Do you see, Fernando? Or anyone who participates? Do you see the word Bilhah? Bilhah has here
Double
two
Hey, double Hey,
double
yes.
Hey. Yes, and the Zohar says she has double. So she can what? She can lend one of the Hey letters to Rachel, and Rachel can conceive. because the other, let's look at the other's name because the Jacob had 4 women. Leah, does Leah have hay at the end?
Yes.
Does she have it? So she can conceive, no problem. Zilpah, her maid, does she have
Yes.
hay? So she can
Yes.
conceive. And Bilhah, she
Double
has
hay.
two, double hay. So she can conceive and also give the extra to Our Lady. So the only one who does not have letter hay is Rachel. Yes, Raine. Yes, hay is also creative breath. Yes, excellent. Hay is also creative breath. Very good. Very good. Yes. Our mouse, the human, very good, Reina. The human mouse, if we look, now I'll move to another color. The human face, it will be a bit ridiculous, but here we have the eyes, like the letter Yod. The nose is like the letter Vav. And here the mouse is like the letter Hey, because the mouse is open and the foot of the Hey is like the tongue that can speak. So the mouse itself has a shape of the letter Hey. The mouse itself has the shape of the letter Hey. Yes. When we see sometimes in cartoon when a person speaks, they open his mouth like a circle, and we can put a Hey inside, and the tongue can speak blah blah blah, or Hey or something, or when we blow air. Also, there is a relation between the mouth and the ear. The mouth is not just in the shape of hay like the ear. Our ear is looking like this, like the letter hay, but in a cursive way. This is hay, square, and this is hay in cursive, like our ear is shaped like this. So there is a relation. Our mouth, P, has the value of 85, while our human ear, Ozen, ear, has the value of 58. Please look at the relation between ear and mouth. Ear is 58. Again, another color. Ear, I did not move to another color as promised. 1 second. We say from the rumor spread from ear to mouth, or opposite, mouth to ear. So look, ear is 58, ear, and mouth is 85. Do we see the relations between the numbers 58 and 85?
Amazing it. Really amazing. Because the Zacluria speaks about this, right? About the 7 openings that we have in our human face. And maybe it's related with the 7 shepherds, right? Be- because you have to unify what you see from what you smell, what you hear, and what you talk. Don't know.
Hmm. Yes.
And what holds everything together is the eighth, that is the skull. The,
Hmm.
that is not an opening; it's something beyond.
True.
Just
Yes, like the eighth holds the seven mists, the skull, the eighth day. It's like the skull is the prince. It is true. It is true. Daniel is asking in Hebrew, the word ear is also related to balance. Yes. Ozen, izun. Izun is balance, and also Libra. Libra, how do you say, in the zodiac? Are we, yes, in the zodiac we have this sign of Libra. How do you call it?
Libra.
Libra. Moznaim. Moz, Moznaim. And here the three letters in the middle. Moznaim, scales. Those three letters is Ozin. Ozin. Ear, but also balance. This is why we hear all over the Bible, listen, listen, because a person who is listening, who is open to listening, he's also balanced. A person who can not listen, he's not balanced. Also, I think that if we abstract Moznaim, Libra, I think it comes to 148. I think Leo once mentioned, let's look into this Moznaim, Moznaim. So here we have 40 and 1 and 7 and 50, and then Yod and Mem are also 50. I combine them together, so we have 148, like Echad, 1, and like Pesach, Passover as well. So a person who is balanced, he is with the 1. Everything is dependent on listening. Our tendency, our human tendency, is to move from one pole to another pole because we are in duality. Night and day, cold and warm, and so on. So all of us are moving all the time. But the truth is in the middle. Yes. Questions or impressions? Daniel Osborne says, amazing that the only way we can stand on two legs is because of our inner ear. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I wanted to know, is there is there any more significance you can pull out into the names of that you wrote originally of the shepherds or the princes?
Hello, good morning.
Hey, can you hear me?
I said good morning.
Oh, great risings. Yes.
Yes.
Boker Tov, Boker Tov.
Boker tov, boker tov. Where
Yes,
are you? Yes, where
wondering
are you
about.
from? Is it morning where you are at?
It is. It is. I mean, I'm outside. I'm outside.
Mm.
It's loud. It's really loud. Yeah, it is. It is here, and yeah, I just was wondering, like, more about how these righteous men, what else can we pull from their lives to continue the topic or what you're talking about, the ones you wrote out at the beginning.
Slowly, slowly. It's a very long and slowly we arrive at this particular go in and out until it will sink in because it's very large.
Yeah, I think my connection is bad. I'm gonna just type it for now until I get back to some Wi-Fi.
Okay, okay. Very good. Very good. Thank you for your question. Any other impressions from you? Questions? Fernando, Jill, Shelton. What significance can we shepherds? Yes, along with the topic. Yes. This is a very those questions will be clarified during our conversation. We cannot approach this directly, slowly, slowly.
Shalom, Eti.
Shalom. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? I'm really just processing and listening, and trying to figure out how I can see the seven within my own personality, and so that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yes. Yes. When we are at the flow, all of us are experiences. When everything streams, there's a beautiful morning, we do what we do, everything just opens and expands. There's no stopping, no delay, no other considerations, no phone, no things that we have to bypass. So we don't narrow our steps, just an expansion of like flow of happiness, and you just stream with the day. So this is the quality of Abraham in us, just completely flow. Nothing stops, just expand, and you move during the day with good thoughts, good feelings, impressions, everything um, enlightened in us, and so good vibe. And in the opposite direction to this sense in us comes the notion of Isaac, or the binding of the give wow, the overcoming, or the second day. There's a split, and when we overcome, we have to, there are situations in life or days of moment that we cannot move in the world. We just have to unify our thoughts, not to use our body, not too much our feelings and ability to move. We just pull through. This is the aspect of Isaac in us. It's also sense of darkness. It sometimes it is it can be felt as darkness because we have to strain our powers. Isaac, when he was binded, he was afraid. He was afraid. He did not resist it. He was afraid. And the Lord says that he was so afraid that his soul left, he saw the hand of his father with a knife, and his soul just drifted, left the body before the knife will arrive. And and since then, his eyes, he he saw what is above space and time. And when he came back, because the father did not act, his eyesight returned to him, but he was not able to see. So the Lord tries to tell us that when we are at moments of overcoming, it is like darkness for us because we don't see the light. We restrict our movement. It can happen. It is happening to us all the time. There are like crises, like things that we really notice, and there are moments during the day that are feeling to us like darkness. We have to restrict ourselves because We don't really, if we shall expand, um, it might harm us. So there are moments in life that we are restricting our ability to act, and so on. So we can look through one day or through one week, and we can see how those moments or situations, modes are moving in us. Weinreb calls them echoes, like echoes, or the mist is moving. So sometimes we can feel that there's a beautiful flow. Everything just streams and expands, infinitely expands. Beautiful. And sometimes not. And sometimes there's a middle, and so on. So we are moving all the time between those modes.
E.T.,
Yes.
if I may uh, ask an abstract idea, you can believe, but many classes came to my mind with what you said about Isaac. It was beautiful, and but I have an abstract question to open the
Mm.
this new topic. Maybe that you said that 360, that is a full circle
Mhm.
divided per 8, we get 45. That is Adam,
Yes.
and it is related with the eighth day, with the maybe Adam Harishon. This was the
Yes.
great idea, maybe. Eh,
Because he had the word with God. This is why
and
the
he
eight, yes, eight
and
eight days.
he could. I'm sorry.
Please continue because it's the same idea, so we share it. Please continue.
Great, because he could see Olam Violam, right? He could
Yes.
see all the creation. And it's interesting that we have grace, you opening talking about Hesed, that is 72.
Mhm.
And when we get 72, and you said about letter Hey, we if we divided 360 by
Yes.
5, we get Hesed. So it's the full hand perspective that you said this week, yesterday maybe.
Yes.
So I'm wondering the difference between these two ideas.
What
I
is
don't
it?
know if,
Okay,
yeah,
let's put the mathematics and see what are you asking. You say like this. Let's move it here. I have more space. You're saying that if we take 360 and divide it into 8, we get 45 or Adam. Yes? Human. But if we divide 360 into 5, we get 72. Yes, which is grace.
yes,
Yes. So the question that you ask, what is the difference between the two? This is the question?
yes. Uh,
Yes. This is the spiritual height. This is the spiritual height. Spiritual height. And this is the quality. This is 72 is the quality because each finger, like we saw in this this chapel, the creation of man, that we have both hands. We have, yes, we have like both hands. Let's say, see. 1 second, I have to make it better. Each hand of us, each human hand, is like, if we make it like this, is part of a circle. If we open our palms like wide to hold a plate, so each arm is 360, and we divide it into 5, and we get 72. So value of each of our finger is capable of grace. Each finger here is capable of grace. And the right hand is the right of the sun. The left is the hand of the moon. So also here we have 360 divided into 5, which is 72. Yes. So we are a composition of both hands, right and left. Sun, the giving, the expect. And the moon, the receiving. Always there's a lack. The moon is always lack, except one day. But 360 and 360 is 720. Bereshit. Or we can write, since each hand has 5 fingers and 5, so it's 10. So 72, each finger, grace, double 10 fingers that we do in both our hands. Again, we are at 720, Bereshit. So in 360 divided into 8, we speak about spiritual height. In 360 divided into 5, we speak about a manifestation. Manus in Latin or Spanish, manus is a hand. Yes.
Amazing, I thank you so much.
So we have to. It's good to remember that we have two hands. Two hands. The sun, the right hand, and the moon. Here's the letter Yod. Yod is also Yad. Yad. Yod Daled, the palm. Yad. Yes. So here we have the giving. If we want to, here again, the sun is here. Nothing is lacking. And here we have the hand which is receiving the moon. Let's put the moon in. You could see it. Yes, moon. Always in the left side, there's always like in the right side, nothing is lacking. This is the soul. The soul is here on the right. Soul and soul, solar system. There is a linguistic soul. And here's the body here. Always lack. The body always lack. Not just in terms of we're hungry or thirsty, also in terms of emotions. The emotions we have, emotions is also in the realm of 7. Jill asked before. Emotions can really play with us. So it's better to balance ourselves is to go to the 8th realm in us. Because when we are moved by emotions, it's the play of the 7 in space and time. It's better to govern the mind, and then there's more balance. Is all of this clear?
It's amazing. And I was thinking here, it came one insight, but I'm not sure that is right.
Mm-hmm.
Is that we have one class only you said about a name that is mixing the name of 4 letters with Adonai. Do
Mm-hmm.
you remember?
Yes, I do. I do. Definitely.
And
Yes.
in this case, I think that we will get 8 letters, maybe 8 letters.
Yes, we get it. Yes, yes.
So there it is, because we have the transcendental, the completeness that
Yeah.
is Hashem, and
Yes.
we have Adonai that is the manifested in Malchut. So we get the number 8 that
Yes.
compounds this.
This is what the Zohar says, by the way. This is what the Zohar says. This is it. Yes, the eight is the eight, the combination. Yes, so there is a question. Thank you, Fernando, for your question. It's beautiful. And also, there are questions here on YouTube, which I uh, would like to attend. So, so is 360 divided by every number significant? Yes, and not by seven, Daniel. Yes, this is what Felipe noticed. Yes, Felipe put beautiful mathematics on Slack. Everything is divided except the number seven. Yes. And Reina is asking, manifestation is to have in hand. Yes? Yes, Reina. Yes, yes. And there are more questions here, I see. 1 second. Yes, yes. And Fernanda was mentioning that when we write a full name of Adonai, the Tetragrammaton, I mean the abstract name, and the manifested, here I shall write those two names in different colors, and then we have 8 letters. Here we have 8 letters. Yes, here it is. This is what you're asking, Fernando.
Yes, Etienne, we get Amen.
Yes, I get Amen. This is it. This is the value of Amen. Amen is 91. Yes, very good. Yes, yes. Thank you, Andre. So we have 7 minutes left until 1 hour stream, and you're requested to ask, give impressions, share what is on your mind, on your heart. If it was too hard, it was too packed, or you'd rather have sometimes paintings, I would like to hear from you.
Etty?
Yes,
For me, it is a lot of information, but you have a lot of videos, and so I I plan on going back through the videos quite a bit. I get a lot of information from all of you guys. I really appreciate y'all being patient with me.
you're welcome, Jill. You're welcome. And if you have a specific question, always you can use Slack and ask, or here every day in a conversation. So feel free. And Daniel is asking, might be going backwards, but how does Adam calculate to both 144 and 45? Okay, we can answer that. Okay. Why Adam sometimes appear as 45 and sometimes 144? Okay. Here, Adam, Daniel, Adam consists of 3 letters. Aleph is 1, Dalet is 4, Mem is 40. In this case, 40 plus 4 is 44, plus 1 is 45. Yes, simple value. But if we take just the small numbers, meaning the 0 we put aside, and we write just the digits from left to right, 1, 4, and 4. So you see, Daniel, there are two ways, either to calculate the full portion of 40, so 40 plus 4 is 44, plus 1 is 45, or we take the small numbers. Mem is 40, but we take it as 4, Dalet is 4, Aleph is 1, and we mirror it, mirror it, mirror. Thank you. Seem or feel like a lot of load. It is a load, it's a universe for itself. But slowly, slowly. Daniel says, my challenge is sharing these depths of meaning with my close relatives and friends. Yes, sometimes we cannot share it frontally, Daniel, but through the behavior, through the behavior, we can reflect something. Sometimes it's hard or impossible because people are not prepared. They're not for any reason, but it's also very, very common that those who are open to those topics uh, deliberately, the whole setup around them is opposite. So take it into consideration that the people who are here participating in a conversation or listening, bringing doubts, sharing, and bringing former experience of life. So, with this beautiful sentence, I would like to conceal the conversation and wish you a very, very beautiful week. And we can meet here tomorrow at the same time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Shalom, shalom. Bye bye,
Shalom.
Jill.
Thank
Shalom,
you.
everyone.
Shalom, shalom. Bye,
Shelton.
Fernando.
Bye,
Bye, Shelton.
bye, bye.
Jill,
Bye.
Fernando, and to have a great day.
Great
Okay.
day. Thank you, AT. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Ati.
Shalom, shalom.